Free speech rallies in San Francisco and Berkeley, August 2017. Hey, it's Prince of Queens, and I'm a bit worried because there are two rallies planned for this weekend in the San Francisco Bay Area of California, which is the 26th and 27th of August, put together by organizers who are advocating for free speech and patriotism. If people are unfamiliar with the San Francisco Bay Area, they should know that San Francisco sits on a peninsula bordering the Pacific Ocean, which is in extremely close proximity to the mainland, most notably the area referred to as the East Bay, which is where the cities of Oakland and Berkeley, California are. Berkeley and Oakland are a mere 30 or 40 minutes away from San Francisco by train or by car, so the entire area that is referred to as the San Francisco Bay Area or the Bay Area by native Californians is actually just one big metropolitan area that is strongly connected by culture and geographical location. As far as I know, up until now, the free speech and patriot rallies put together by right-wing organizers have generally been confined to Berkeley, California, which borders Oakland, California in the East Bay, which is home to the more radical far leftists in the area, as it is far cheaper to live in the East Bay than in the main city of San Francisco. But make no mistake, I lived there for over 7 years, and I can assure you that although people in the main city of San Francisco are not as politically mobilized and radical in their actions as people in Oakland or Berkeley, probably the majority of people in San Francisco do generally share the same political opinions and worldview as people in the East Bay. I have seen numerous people in my extended social media sphere that live in the Bay Area cheering on Yvette Filarca as some sort of hero for pleading innocent to the crime of assaulting a man and inciting a riot, the footage of which was caught on camera and became viral. These people are cheering her on simply due to the fact that they agree with her politics. Thus, when we have an actual rally scheduled to be held in San Francisco City itself, it has obviously attracted a lot of attention from people that otherwise might have ignored the events going on in Berkeley, because although they already probably thought Milo Yiannopoulos is a fascist, it wasn't in their backyard. But now many of these people feel that the Nazis are coming to their own city. The good news here is that I have seen many people in my extended social sphere come around and decide that it is not probably a good idea to directly confront these rallies of supposed white supremacists, as they feel it would give them attention that they are craving. And so they are planning on holding peaceful gatherings of their own somewhere entirely different, like in a park or something, some other park. CNN reported on this, and though I completely hate the outlet for reasons I don't need to get into, they actually do a semi-decent job covering the story, and they don't do what one would fear. They say, San Francisco and Berkeley aren't rolling out the welcome mats for two controversial rallies scheduled for this weekend. In fact, officials are urging residents and the public to stay away from the events. The liberal Bay Area cities are bracing for a freedom rally in San Francisco on Saturday and a No to Marxism in America event in nearby Berkeley on Sunday. Organizers from both events have said that they don't promote hate speech and that extremists, KKK, Nazis, and white supremacists aren't welcome at their events. Nevertheless, San Francisco and Berkeley officials are worried that the two events could attract extremists and violent confrontations. In an effort to prevent violence, officials have included weapons on a list of nearly 30 banned items from the San Francisco event. They They're also blocking cars, bikes, and parking near Crissy Field, where the Freedom Rally is scheduled. Wary of the demonstrations, some Bay Area residents are getting creative in showing their opposition. Counter events, from planning dances, distributing flowers, to convening clowns, have popped up. One Facebook page is even encouraging dog owners to have their pets poop at the park before the Saturday event begins, and to clean up the mess together next day. Yeah, I bet they'll actually do that. No comment though, really. It's kind of irritating that people are being so elaborately petty, but oh well, things could be worse, and that is at least seemingly accurate reporting. Moving on. Politicians lash out against Patriot Prayer. People with hate-filled messages are coming into our city to wreak havoc, said San Francisco Mayor Ed Lee, concerning the event organized by the group Patriot Prayer. I ask people to avoid going to Crissy Field and engaging with members of Patriot Prayer because that's precisely what they wish us to do, he said in a press conference this week. I don't want to dignify their message of hate in our city of love and compassion. Okay, I need to pause right there because I want to point out that this sounds all fine and good, but it will have absolutely zero effect towards stopping potential angry mobs of far leftist radicals, because they all thoroughly hate Mayor Ed Lee, as they think he is a sellout who gave the Bay Area over to greedy tech companies and to property developers. But the story goes on. It's a characterization that Patriot Prayer's founder Joey Gibson vehemently disputes. Gibson said in a Facebook video that the event is not a white supremacist rally and that the event will feature diverse speakers of color. Gibson said in Facebook videos that he's been unfairly painted as a white supremacist by politicians when he himself is a person of color. He said the event is for moderates and a way to bring together people who believe in free speech and a way to build a healthy culture to stand against Antifa, communists, white supremacists, Nazis. House Majority Leader Nancy Pelosi described the Patriot Prayer event as a white supremacist rally in the middle of a park for families and children. We must all pray it does not become an invitation to incite violence, the California Democrat said in a statement. Gibson suggested that the San Francisco leaders should instead calm the city down. It's not a white supremacist rally, Gibson said in a Facebook video. Let's not freak out. Let's not have a meltdown. Let's not have violence. Let's calm down. The event page on Facebook states, no extremists will be allowed in. No Nazis, communists, KKK, Antifa, white supremacists, i.e. or white nationalists. This is an opportunity for moderate Americans to come in with opposing views. We will not allow the extremists to tear apart this country. Gibson is not listed as an extremist by the Southern Poverty Law Center. Okay. I'll stop there because they mentioned the SPLC, and it turns out that they've written an entire memo about the rallies this weekend. Let's see if this story matches up to what they have to say about him. Joey Gibson's Patriot Prayer has trolled the Northwest with a series of rallies designed to provoke violence and populated with extremists. But he says he's changed his approach. Okay, let me stop there right off the bat because they are just being crazy. Joey Gibson is the same guy who attempted to shake hands with Antifa at Evergreen College and was pepper sprayed for his troubles. But let's move on. A Freedom Rally San Francisco is planned Saturday on the city's waterfront at Crissy Field from 2 to 5 p.m., organized as a day of freedom, spirituality, unity, peace, and patriotism by a group called Patriot Prayer. Patriot Prayer is an anti-government patriot group based originally in Vancouver, Washington, and now in Portland, Oregon, that has organized a series of protests in the Pacific Northwest that have all been held in places that are established centers of liberal left politics, all with the clear intent of attempting to provoke a violent response from far-left anti-fascists. Okay, again, they are just saying, all with the clear intent of provoking a response from the far left. That's not a claim you get to just make. How are they provoking violence exactly? Are they showing up and existing? Are they wearing shirts that say, "Bash me, I'm fash"? Furthermore, they are saying that the Patriot group is anti-government, which I don't think is true either. I'll assume that they are just libertarians against big government, but they go on. At his most recent rally in Seattle on August 13th, Gibson openly denounced white supremacism and neo-Nazis. In subsequent interviews, he has taken lengths to explain that he now works to actively exclude them. There were no visible signs of white nationalist members at the Seattle rally. Good, thanks for admitting that. Let's hope that has an effect in how you approach the rest of your write-up. Oh, well, first they show him, and you can note that he's not actually white. And then they show a picture of somebody with the dreaded Hitler Youth haircut. Dun dun dun! Hitler Youth right there, oh my god. So, they go on. Just the week before, in Portland on August 7th, a rally led by Gibson featured numerous members of Portland's white supremacist scene, including a contingent from the white nationalist group Identity Europa. Europa members were leading participants in several of the brawls that erupted. So, you mean when people hold free speech rallies, a lot of people who feel like they don't get a chance to say what they want tend to show up? Imagine my shock! Joey Gibson is not even a white guy. And do you know who else has been big advocates of freedom of speech? Civil rights leaders in the 1960s. And even NAMBLA, the North American Man-Boy Love Association. Free speech attracts a wide array of characters, it turns out. I'm going to skip a bit of this, but the link is in the description if you want to read the whole thing. What's important is the next bit. While proclaiming that he is all about love and peace and is hoping to spur a dialogue with the opposing side, his participants have come with a variety of armor, shields, and easily converted weapons, such as flagpoles and bats, all of which have been used in the brawls that have erupted. A number of these fights have been instigated by the behavior of Patriot Prayer participants, though others have started with Antifa protesters as well. For fuck's sake, you must be joking. They just described Antifa to a T, but completely framed it as if the free speech crowd basically is Antifa. And the sad fact is that there's countless people who take the Southern Poverty Law Center at face value. My own mother donates money to these violence-inciting snakes. My takeaway from reading these two articles is this. CNN is obviously pretty bad, we already know that, because they pretend to be fair and balanced, and yet they leave out a lot of information a lot of the time. Though they haven't been blatantly lying so much as they were about a year ago, at least that I remember, probably because they are finally worried about their reputation. However, CNN attempting to become reputable apparently doesn't matter, because we have the absolutely deplorable organization known as the Southern Poverty Law Center, which is here to tell people the exact opposite of the truth, framed as everything you need to know about the rally. They're basically a glorified clickbait blog that's fear-mongering, posing as some sort of official organization that gets to decide things. It's crazy. The SPCL is basically telling people in subtext that freedom of speech is bad because it attracts people they don't like, and that what people actually say about themselves doesn't matter because the SPCL knows best about what these people really want, and they'll just flat out lie about what goes on at these rallies, painting the free speech proponents as the instigators of violence, simply because they seem to want more violence. So remember, it's not just CNN and corporate legacy media that is the problem. It's organizations like the SPLC which need to be thoroughly boycotted and possibly investigated for some sort of fraud, because it really wouldn't surprise me if they were getting some sort of illegal money from somewhere. That's all I have to say for this video. Be safe, everybody. If something really violent happens this weekend, we all know why it happened. The SPLC is making it sound like Antifa really is defending themselves and not instigating violence. There's countless footage that proves that that is the exact opposite of the truth. I'm going to leave a link to Joey Salad's video because he went undercover as Antifa to expose them. It's going to be in the description if you want to check that out. Everybody should know by now, but maybe some people don't. Okay, bye.